The Sunrisers Hyderabad versus Chennai Super Kings game couldn't be timed any better. Put on your 3D glasses as Vijay Shankar, Sunrisers Hyderabad, all set to take on Ambati Raidu's Chennai Super Kings. That's just now that I've got that out of the way at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. We've actually had to quickly toss the captain portraits around. Normally, we're wondering whether Kane Williamson, the full-time captain, will play or there will be Bhuvneshwar Kumar, but we've just received a late update, as some of you might have already followed on Ball by Ball comms, that we do not have MS Dhoni featuring in this game. So Suresh Raina to lead in what is a team that's changed from both sides. We'll discuss that and build up to the game with Sean Tate and Murali Kartik on ESPNcricinfo Matchday T20. Gentlemen, welcome. Let's start straight with that call. No MS Dhoni. Obviously precautionary. Suresh Raina saying that it's not serious, just caution right now. But he's been their best batsman this season. They're going to miss something.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think with the top order not as good as they were last year. A lot of responsibility has been on MSD. And yeah, let's see how Suresh Raina shapes up, because he batted really well. I don't know who made that call last game that it is Raina's game to win for CSK, and that's exactly what he did. And this game he's got the opportunity to captain. Lots of changes. I'm happy that Sam Billings has got a game. He's such a talent wasted in the bench. And also Karan Sharma. Good to see Karan Sharma also back in the squad.
Right. So Kane Williamson stays. If you just have a look at the head-to-head record for these two teams, and it's not necessarily one that one set of fans will enjoy, because we're looking at Hyderabad versus Chennai in IPL 2019, and they've lost 8 to CSK, including all 4 games last season. So for a team that's desperate to get a win this season, get their campaign running again, they had 3 wins and they've had 3 losses on the trot. This is what happened last year, and of course that last game was the final of the IPL 2019. Right, so we're hoping for better results if you're a Hyderabad fan. And thoughts on the result of the toss, Teddy, where we heard Ian Bishop say that most teams tend to chase after winning. Here both the teams wanted to bat, and Chennai ended up batting first.
I think the main thing that stood out to me was the fact, Kane obviously knows the wicket pretty well. As a captain there, his home ground, but he said that it stays pretty true throughout. So, obviously that's interesting. So, with a wicket like that in those conditions, you can't look into it too much. I suppose they just think get a decent total on the board, and again back some spinners in to get the job done.
Yes, we do have some changes to the team. So we'll start with Chennai Super Kings, who've confirmed that MS Dhoni is being rested precautionarily. Sam Billings has come in, so Mitchell Santner, as the overseas player, goes out, and Karan Sharma comes in. So let me get a quick reaction on that. Sam Billings for Dhoni doesn't play often, but had an impact for CSK in the odd game he played last time.
Yes, and that's why I said that he's such a good addition to the playing 11. Yeah, albeit at the expense of Dhoni, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's tough, because could they have gone with Shane Watson in place of Shane Watson had Dhoni been playing? Because Shane Watson has not hit his straps this year. He's such a phenomenal player in all formats. So they could have done that as well, but this time around it's in place of Dhoni. So yeah.
And Mitchell Santner, is that just a balance thing? Because he actually bowled well last game. We saw the pitch sort of stick here last time.
Yeah, I reckon because of the fact that Dhoni is not playing and they need a keeper, and you're allowed only 4 overseas players. I think Sam Billings comes in, and you've got the luxury of having somebody like Karan Sharma, who's also an all-rounder and somebody who's done well in the IPL.
Yes, Karan Sharma is in, so just having a look at that team and see how it shapes up in the absence of MS Dhoni now is a big key cog, because of how well he's batted this season too. So Karan Sharma comes in for a man who was picked up for good money at the auction, went for 5 crores, hasn't really featured much, but that's essentially how it works. Kedar Jadhav could have been a backup keeper batsman option, but they've decided to go with Sam Billings. Very quick word on that team though.
Look, this is Sharma. He made his name playing for Hyderabad, didn't he?
Yeah.
So going against his old side there. It's still a pretty good side. Dhoni is a big loss. There's no doubt about that. But to me, it just means that, you mentioned Watto, Shane Watson, obviously Faf, and then Raina. These guys have to step up now. In Dhoni's absence, keeping a score deep at the end, or making runs in the last few overs is obviously going to be a little bit different without him there, the way he goes about it. So runs at the top look like they're going to be pretty important.
One thing's surprising though, that after Harbhajan was man of the match and bowled well, he was down with a bit of stiff neck for a couple of games. If he's fit, why is he not in? That's something which you can think about.
We're assuming that this is a call made on tactics. If Harbhajan is unfit, then that takes care of itself.
David Warner.
But yes, there are some left-handers there too.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's a call that's been taken that Karan Sharma will play. So the extra leg spin, 2 outright leg spinners for CSK in Tahir and Karan Sharma. What about Sunrisers Hyderabad? They're still trying to figure out the ideal combination. They made 3 changes last game, Kartik, and they've made 2 more this time. They've left out Ricky Bui and Abhishek Sharma after just 1 game. Brought in Shahbaz Nadeem with Kane Williamson saying he wants 5 outright bowlers, frontline bowlers, and Yusuf Pathan comes in for Ricky Bui straight away. What do you make of those?
Look, I'm happy that Shahbaz Nadeem is in because they got him from Delhi where he was doing really well, and I thought that the surface at Hyderabad would have definitely suited him. Look, he's an exceptional spinner in IPL. He's done it really well. So I felt bad that he wasn't getting a game. In terms of Yusuf Pathan, obviously by the looks of it, Hyderabad, who generally don't press the panic button too soon, have realized that these guys are not the ones which they need, and they've brought back Yusuf Pathan. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I know, Teddy, if you're a fan of this, Abhishek Sharma 1 game and out, they're just going for that experience.
I just think that it wasn't convincing. I mean, we like the fact that they made a couple of changes and a couple of decisions that we thought they had to. Maybe that was what Yusuf needed, just a game on the bench, just to go, right, now we want you to come in and make some runs and have an impact on the game. Okay,
well, let's get to our first poll then, if you're watching on Facebook. And the question we're asking you is whether Hyderabad should have picked Mohammad Nabi. We did feel that could be a strong case. Sanjay Manjrekar on the preview to this game yesterday did say that he wanted Mohammad Nabi in this team, but as it turns out, they've stuck with the captain Kane Williamson. And let's move to a point that Kartik's already teased, so to Sean Tate, about Chennai's openers needing to step up, perhaps more so this game now that they don't have the insurance of MS Dhoni in the middle order. They were impactful last year. A lot of that, Kartik, has to do with Ambati Rayudu's excellent IPL 2018. But Shane Watson, yes, and Shane Watson. And it just hasn't seemed to work this time, even though they've put Faf du Plessis there to try and change things up.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why you're always amazed by this game and by IPL. It's not the players on paper; it's who's in form, and that's exactly what happens. And you can have the best team on paper if they're not in form, then you're not going to be helped. So, yeah, from that point of view, yes, the good thing is that they've always stuck by their players, even if they've not been 100% this year. And hopefully, and you know that Watson is such a big name, big player. Yeah. It's just a question of 1 innings or possibly 10 minutes out in the middle, he finds his mojo, and then you see the Watson of old.
I mean, he's got 1 significant innings and he was man of the match in that game against Delhi early in the season, Teddy. But he's gone a few games now without much of a score. He's had 4 single-digit scores. Is it the kind of thing that would affect someone like Shane Watson?
I don't think so. At this stage of his career, he seems pretty comfortable with what he's doing and these T20 tournaments. He's pretty relaxed nowadays, Watto. Mind you, he knows more than anyone that he needs to perform. There's no doubt about that. He'd be quite honest with himself there. But he's got the goods to do that. He's a good enough player. I think you can only hold him down for so long, and hopefully he gets going tonight, because when he gets going, he is great to watch.
Now, if you look at the lowest strike rates in IPL 2019, you'll actually find a few Chennai boys in that list. Shane Watson's there, Ambati Rayudu's there, so too Kedar Jadhav. There's also Manish Pandey and Steve Smith, both of whom have now been dropped by their respective sides. But you've got Rayudu in with a strike rate of 86, and this is an Ambati Rayudu now who knows that he's not going to be going to the World Cup. Sorry, I had a bit of a second there. Yeah, but let's get into that conversation, because it is Ambati Rayudu v Vijay Shankar. And let's just have a look and listen to what went down at the selection meeting, to which Ambati Rayudu actually reacted.
We did give a few more chances to Rayudu, but what Vijay Shankar offers is 3-dimensional. Apart from his batting, he can bowl, and he's a fantastic fielder.
Okay, so that was the chairman of selectors for the Indian team, MSK Prasad, giving his point of view. It was nice actually to see the chairman take questions openly and give answers as well. And then you had that from Rayudu, which has now been described by BCCI officials as well as the selectors as an emotional response. That's the tweet we saw it. I actually like a little bit of expression, you know. I mean, so what? He's missed out on the biggest tournament perhaps of his life, maybe on his last chance. It's okay to let off a little steam, but what did you make of it?
Look, firstly I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
Whatever people might say, if you earmark somebody as number 4,
yes,
and this has come from the team management, you're feeling good about it. And I think it was yesterday I saw this set of stats that he is fourth on the list of number of innings, the highest averages amongst batsmen. Number one is Virat Kohli. He's ahead of Sachin Tendulkar. And if it is about three dimensions, what happened to KL Rahul? KL Rahul looks $1 million, and I said this before. He's a fabulous player, but if he was so important to the side, why wasn't he playing till the time we saw this World Cup team being picked? So you have to feel sad for Ambati Rayudu because of the fact that look, he has missed out on a big ticket tournament. And some of the things which they say actually makes you wonder. They said that Dinesh Kartik has been picked ahead of Rishabh Pant because he's a better wicketkeeper. If that's the case, then why is Rishabh Pant keeping in the test matches?
Yeah, simple as that, and you make some good points.
So this kind of...
it's not consistent.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
It's not. So it doesn't.
Okay.
So Vijay Shankar averages 33 and the other man averages 47.
Yeah.
And I felt both of them should have gone.
Yes, so you're making a good point. That's not only about Vijay Shankar versus Rayudu. If the selectors did want a player of unique
Let me
skills
see
and
the third
multiple
dimension,
skills.
how much they use of the seam bowling.
Okay, so Kartik feels strongly about this. As far as Rayudu's remarks go, though, it seems like it's taking the mickey out of what the selectors have said.
I mean,
would you look at that and say, oh, it's fine? Would you say, oh, that's not on? You're a teammate of mine. If you say a Vijay Shankar.
I'm not, the only thing I don't like about, I mean, we've all had our moments, let's be honest, after think, but and I understand completely what you're saying. If you're a number 4, it should be a batsman and all this stuff. I tend to agree, but I just think it's wrong to say that because there's a guy involved that's been picked. It's a play. It's Shankar. So what he's sort of doing is sort of, if Shankar's going to walk past him tonight, he'd be like, it's a.
No, I don't think Rayudu made a comment towards Vijay Shankar.
No, he's sort of saying to the selectors.
But it's a
I don't think
mocking comment.
It's a tongue-in-cheek.
It is tongue-in-cheek, but it essentially is describing a fellow teammate. So
I
you're saying it could be taken.
I don't like it.
Okay, you don't like
but
it.
But at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. We've all had our moments, and look, he's going to put stuff out like that on social media. He needs to perform now.
Yeah, well, I love it because players sometimes don't say anything, and it's nice to see a little bit of personality as part of the sportsman's repertoire, and it gives us in the media something to talk about. So that's our petty little victory on that. Let's speak more on Vijay Shankar's own IPL, which started quite brightly actually, and then has just gone off the boil a bit. We'll just look at Vijay Shankar's numbers. And in fact, Kartik, you make a good point. They don't use much of Vijay Shankar's, one of his dimensions, one of his skills of the ball. It's not even used much in the IPL. We're looking at just batting per se, and he had a good, steady 2018 for Delhi. He's obviously been traded and moved to Sunrisers, where I don't know what's ailing Vijay Shankar. Is it the batting position, the responsibility?
I don't think so. The batting positions are fine. It's just a question of taking a bit more time. I think the kind of wickets they've played on, the guys at the top have made it look completely different. You feel as if they're batting on a different surface. But somebody like a Vijay Shankar, I think he just needs to take a bit more time. He's a fabulous striker of the ball, and he seems like he thrives on confidence, and that's exactly what he's got at the moment. And also with Big Philip to that confidence being the selection for World Cup, I feel he should just knuckle down and do what he does best.
Okay, let's just have a look at how Vijay Shankar's gone against different bowlers, and that will give you an idea perhaps of how he's been dismissed too. So seamers, which gives you an indication that he's again gone hard. The average is good though, strike rate is good, so he takes the quicks on. He does tend to get out to leg spin and not have too many, lots of spinners. Yeah, lots of spin. The spin seems to be an issue.
Even the left-arm pacers are not going to leave you.
So that's the amount of dismissals. If you were someone who's talking to Vijay Shankar, you're giving him a lot of investment and responsibility, Teddy, in this team. With Williamson, he probably has to bat 4. There's a little extra luxury. Would you start having a word with him now? You're going to the World Cup.
You got to start.
You can relax. Why don't you just?
Absolutely, but at the same time, I think he personally now, after all this stuff, after being picked possibly when a lot of people didn't think he should have been, obviously Rayudu's comments, he now really needs to perform. So if he now comes out and fields really well, if he gets the ball, takes a couple of wickets, and if he makes some runs, then what Rayudu's come out and said sort of doesn't really hold too much, does it? You know what I mean? If you look at it that way.
Yes.
I know there's a different opinion and a different way of looking at things, but him personally, I think he would really now want to make some runs.
Okay, this is only not restricted just to Vijay Shankar. There has been an issue with the Sunrisers middle order in general. They've made changes. They've dropped Manish Pandey, who's been a regular for them last couple of seasons. They've also had Yusuf Pathan in and out, Deepak Hooda in and out. So we've tried to break down the dilemma, that is what's wrong with the middle order for Sunrisers Hyderabad.
This IPL, an Aussie and an Englishman have sparked a new bromance. But if Warner and Bairstow were to file taxes as a couple, they'd have to list the Hyderabad middle order as dependents. Hyderabad's batsmen from number 4 to 7 have averaged a paltry 15 so far this season, which is in stark contrast to their top order that's going great guns. This hurt them most in their last game against Delhi, when Warner and Bairstow chased down over half their modest targets, but the rest of the batsmen crumbled. Their 15 for 8 was the record for the worst collapse in IPL history.
But yeah, look, it's an area that we recognise we can improve. With regards to our middle order, in the early parts of the tournament, our middle order was starved of opportunity because of the brilliant 100-run partnerships that both Bairstow and Warner put together. But since then, they've had opportunities and haven't really taken those opportunities, which has been disappointing because there's been a couple of games that we have felt that if they did, step up and take their chance, we'd be in a slightly different position.
Moody has a reason to be grumpy. After all, nearly 64% of all Hyderabad runs this season have been scored by these two gentlemen alone. And after the loss against Delhi, Warner clarified that although the side had experienced men such as Yusuf Pathan and Manish Pandey sitting out, selection wasn't his call. Hyderabad have now lost 3 games in a row, and their problems may not end soon. When Warner and Bairstow leave early for World Cup preparations, their middle order will need to shape up or the team will ship out.
They want to make sure that they have enough reinforcement when the big two go. If David Warner's also called up, that's something we need to see if Australia want him to keep playing or they want him back for the preparatory camp. You're already saying
they're going. So it's just a different time.
Yeah.
The English boys, especially Johnny Bairstow, goes on the 23rd. And I think the likes of Smudge, Steve Smith and Warner go on the 1st of May. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday.
So they got to figure it out. It's Kartik signalling the distress sign for them anyway. And we saw how that would affect things. Imagine taking away 64% of the guys that are getting your runs. Well, that's not good. Okay, what about the result of the first poll that we put out? Mohammad Nabi should have played for Hyderabad, say 64% of you. So lots of 64%ers today. 36% say no, we should keep the team as Kane Williamson's gone for it. Start getting ready with our second poll too. Chennai or Hyderabad, they don't have a great record against the Super Kings. Do the Sunrisers? Will they manage to cling that today and defy that? Those are the two reactions to start getting busy. Let's speak of one of the Super Kings that's won them a couple of games quietly now. Ravindra Jadeja had a quiet role in that game at Jaipur. He also saw the job through at the Eden Gardens the other day. That's with bat. With ball, Jadeja's doing a job that actually Murali Kartik, we didn't see him do much last season. He was used sporadically by MS Dhoni. In fact, we were wondering what Jadeja is doing in that team. Here we have him now with 7 wickets and going at an economy of 6.5.
Yeah, also what's helped him is that the surfaces have been conducive to his style of bowling.
Yeah.
We've seen how Chennai has been. If you give him something which spins even a tad bit, he's going to be lethal because of the fact that he's quicker through the air, just there and thereabouts. And if he doesn't know which one is spinning and which one is coming in, the batsman ain't knowing. So, so it just works into Ravindra Jadeja. The problem he has is that when the wicket is really flat and then he starts bowling quicker and quicker, and I don't think that's been the case this year. He's also trying to figure out for himself what should be. And also, having come back into the white ball scheme of things since Asia Cup, it makes a big difference. You know that you're part of the think tank and part of the team, and you're playing consistently, even ahead of Chahal.
Yes.
So you do work, and I think everybody works things out for themselves.
Yeah, and he's also got a World Cup ticket to his name too, Ravindra Jadeja. It's been a successful return to India's white ball setup. And if we just look at how he's bowled in the IPL, how MS Dhoni has chosen to use him too, a lot of overs in those middle overs, where he's kept things at 7. Which again tells you, Teddy, maybe what we've said about Deepak Chahar before, someone's got to take Jadeja on to put some pressure. That's not happened often this season.
No, it hasn't. So that is going to be a huge challenge for this middle order as well. If those guys are in those middle overs, he's taken 4 wickets there from 7 to 15 as well. So he's taking wickets also. Look, he just keeps it simple, doesn't he? He sticks to his basics. He knows his game very well with bat and ball. I don't think he's changed over the years too much, really. I mean, a few little things he's gotten better at maybe or whatnot, but I think he's just a reliable player.
And just looking at more numbers for Ravindra Jadeja, we've got his numbers since 2015. We also have his numbers against right and left-hand batsmen. And you take that economy of 8. There's this cricketing myth that goes around. You don't bring on the left-arm spinner to a left-hander. I don't know how much you buy into that, because some people just don't give their left-arm spinners a bowl at all.
No, I don't think so, because there's nothing like that. Everybody knows what the other man is bowling, but they still get out to it. It also depends on what time to use. So if you're getting somebody set and then bringing a left-arm spinner, obviously don't do that to Chris Gayle or David Warner or the likes of Yuvraj Singh when they are going at their best. But early on, everybody's as vulnerable as anyone else. So
and those numbers we saw against right-handers, 7 wickets, strike rate keeps it low too. Lots of right-handers now in that Sunrisers middle order.
Correct, and they would try and get him against somebody like Johnny Bairstow, because Bairstow likes using his feet, and if he can get one to either come in with the arm or just leave him, I think it'll be quite handy. They need to break that. They need to bring that middle order early into the batting lineup, and I think that's where Ravindra Jadeja could be very useful.
In fact, you made a good point of Bairstow, who's found himself at the wrong end of leg spin, and now we have 2 leg spinners that Suresh Raina can use today. So fancy which one? I think Karan Sharma perhaps with the
Karan Sharma is different to Imran Tahir, because Karan Sharma only takes the ball out. Imran Tahir is canny, will do different things with the ball. But different types of leg spinners, but quicker through the air, both of them.
What we have seen is David Warner change approach, Teddy, this sort of midway through this IPL, where he says, okay, there's a little soft underbelly to this Sunrisers middle order, so I don't want to be going big.
It's interesting I haven't seen if he's commented on or not, because as he mentioned that, but it's interesting to see what is going through these players' minds. We've seen Steve Smith that do similar sort of things, and whether it's out of touch or whether it's genuine, I think with the Hyderabad thing, it's certainly the middle order being quite vulnerable. So,
And the other thing is David Warner's not gone big at the end when he has slowed down in the middle, so that's coming to bite Sunrisers Hyderabad. But they're going to be batting second, so they'll know how much they need to get. What they will have is Rashid Khan bowling in the first half of this game. And Rashid Khan, the revelation that he was in T20, still remains very, very effective. He's a sure shot pick in most teams. But what we're seeing now is a man who's going at an economy of 6.5 since Rashid Khan's debut. But this season, the wickets seem to have dried up, Kartik. Everyone wants to just play Rashid Khan nice and safe. And it seems to be working. I'm just trying to think of whether as a Rashid Khan you'd be happy with these 1 for 20 odds in 4 overs, or whether you'd be getting a little annoyed that the wickets aren't coming as they used to.
Look, I'll be happy with those numbers, but the thing is that sometimes it's how the captain uses you as well, isn't it? When does he use you? And if he uses you at a stage where the batsmen are content, taking you for 6 runs and not giving you that wicket, then it makes a difference. Possibly he can be challenged a bit more, make him bowl those overs where the batsmen have to go for it.
So bowl at the death,
so then all his variations and the canny bowling comes out. I think the wily Rashid Khan will come out, because you have to go after him. Why is somebody like Sunil Narine so effective? Because you have to go after him. If you sit on him in games like test matches, obviously they bowl a different length. In T20, when you start going after them, they become lethal.
And let's look at Rashid Khan used phase-wise, isn't it? It's an interesting point we make that Sunrisers have looked for answers for their death bowling. They've dropped Siddharth Kaul. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar's only just looking like he's getting back to form. But that's what we've got, 4 wickets at the death, 16 to 20.
He's also got 2 overs. He's only bowled 2 overs at the top. He's got 2 wickets there as well.
So exactly.
Maybe they can look at that.
Would you bowl Rashid Khan power play or death? How would you use him today? You've got Chennai at your disposal. They're going to be batting first.
I'll go a bit of both. You can find a bowl through the middle there as well. But I don't know if this has got anything to do with it, but maybe their seamers haven't been quite as effective as they were in last year as well. So maybe batsmen are like, well, we can take a couple of these guys down now, so we can just sit on Rashid Khan. Whereas in the past, it's like, well, we can't take Bhuvi, he's too good, so-and-so. So maybe that's having an effect, I don't know.
In fact, I think last year it was Raidu and Suresh Raina that played Rashid Khan quite well. Few batsmen that did. So Kartik, I like the choice of batsmen. There's Faf and Watson. There's no MS Dhoni now, so there'll be a Sam Billings or a Jadeja at the end. So
you never know, Sam Billings might also come up top, because he's also very good, uses his feet really well against spinners.
Got the angles and
sweeping. So how would you use Rashid Khan if you were his captain today?
Look, I would definitely give him the second or the third over.
Okay.
Ideally, I give the first over to a spinner, but with Rashid Khan, you can just throw him anywhere. Rashid Khan, second or third over, and then not try and use too much of him in the middle overs unless and until they're going after the bowlers, and then you bring him on. To tighten things up, use Karan Sharma in the middle, use Ravindra Jadeja in the middle, and then start using him later on.
Okay.
Because 3 overs in the end, from 15th onwards, you can definitely use him.
Sure. All right, let's move to our Fab 4 contest and let's pick. And Sean Ted actually won this, Kartik, yesterday, so you might be...
Oh la la, he beat Mr. Manjrekar.
You did, he did. Mr. Manjrekar couldn't believe it.
Okay.
But neither could Sean.
Pull my socks up.
Yeah, let's have a look at the
Non-existent.
picks. Okay, who'd like to go first? Teddy, since you won yesterday, I'll give you, you won the toss. So you want to go first or give
Okay,
Kartik?
I'll go.
All right, go.
Can we not pick the same players?
You can.
Yeah, of course.
All right, then.
I just like it if it's mixed up a little.
I'm going to go Rashid Khan.
All right.
I'm not messing around anymore. I'm going for big names. I'm going to go David Warner. Chennai.
All right, we got Rashid Khan.
David Warner and Rashid Khan.
Okay.
If we can have a look at the Chennai side,
The
please.
Chennai team would be...
Okay. Ooh. Imran Tahir. And actually, I'll go Jadeja.
All right, Imran Tahir, Jadeja, Warner and Rashid Khan. Yes, Kartik.
Okay, I'm going Suresh Raina and Imran Tahir.
All right.
And I'm going same David Warner and Rashid Khan.
All right, so the difference would be whether Suresh Raina can manage to get you some more points.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a matter of one man doing something more.
Before we leave both Kartik and Teddy, we're also starting a new little series on ESPNcricinfo around the IPL and the wonderful cities involved in the IPL. This is Maruti Suzuki on the road with Archana Vijaya.
जब ऑक्शन चल रहा था, आई एम श्योर आप सबकी आंखें टीवी पर होंगी, तो जब अनाउंस हुआ कि बैंगलोर की टीम उसे 5 करोड़ के लिए खरीद रही है, रिएक्शन क्या था आपका?
अरे बहुत मस्त रिएक्शन था, बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा रिएक्शन था, बहुत ज्यादा।
सबका रिएक्शन सबसे धमाकेदार था।
अरे एकदम
सबसे धमाकेदार रिएक्शन सिर्फ मेरे पापा का।
किसी ने
पापा वाज लाइक चिल्लाओ चिल्लाओ।
This is a little teaser. You want to watch more of that? You know where to go, ESPNcricinfo.com, as well as our official mobile app. Quick look at what the poll says. Chennai or Hyderabad, which way are you leaning? Wow, 50-50. No one can pick this out. Let's get Sean Tate and Murali Kartik's thoughts on just a number. What would Chennai need? Or what would Hyderabad like to keep Chennai to? Let me put it that way. Kartik, you've seen them cock up chases before. What would Hyderabad like out of Chennai?
What would Hyderabad like out of Chennai? Possibly dismiss them for 120?
120. Yeah. Teddy?
Oh, I mean, if anything under 160,
Okay.
then they're going to have a chance.
All right, we'll pick up this conversation at halftime. A 10-over update with one of the boys as well on ESPNcricinfo Matchday T20. For now, time to focus our attention to the game today. Hyderabad desperately need a win. They're up against a Chennai without MS Dhoni.